everyone, my name is Kinal Patel and I'm from Khyati College of Physiotherapy. Today I'm gonna present my lecture on functional re-education, especially for paraplegic patients. So let's start.
Functional re-education means educating something which is already known by an individual. Here, the individual knows the movement that has to be performed, but due to his disease pathology, he could not perform it properly. The main motto for functional re-education is to make a man independent. Functional re-education helps to improve coordination and balance, increase the strength and endurance of muscle, increase static and dynamic stability, increase pelvic stability. It enhances proprioception function, that is joint position sense, improve postural stability, and it improves ambulatory skills, that is gait training. Paraplegia. Simply, paraplegia means paralysis of lower limbs. It is usually caused by spinal cord injury or congenital conditions. The area of spinal canal that is affected is either thoracic, lumbar or sacral regions. Now before starting the sequence, we must know that in paraplegic patient, even the upper limb and lower back muscle will be weak. So we must strengthen it before starting the sequence. Now let's see sequence: rolling, then sitting, to transfer, then standing, and then walking. Rolling. As paraplegic patient would be having paralysis of lower limb, therapist will lift patient's one leg and keep over the other. Then patient is told to do shoulder 90-degree flexion, elbow extended, and hands in prayer position as shown in this diagram. Now, for supine to sideline, patient is told to do neck flexion and rotation in the side which we want them to turn. With pendulum motion of hands, on count of 3, patient is told to turn. Therapist will assess the patient from shoulder and pelvis. For side to prone, in the same way, patient is told to do neck extension and same side rotation. But now, here the hands would be in full flexion, full shoulder flexion. For prone to sideline and from sideline to supine line, we can use pillow one under the hip and the shoulder. Patient is told to do neck extension and then rotation. We can assess them by pelvis and shoulder. As progression occurs, we can gradually remove the pillow supports. Let's see what are the advantages of rolling. Rolling, as patient would be bedridden from long time, it can help us to prevent from bed sores. It helps to mobilize secretions which is accumulated in the lungs and thus improves the lung function. It activates the muscles, increases the confidence of patient, and prepare the patient for next sequence. The next sequence is sitting. There are two ways to bring patient in sitting position, either from prone on elbow or from supine on elbow. In prone on elbow position, from prone on elbow to patient will form C position, then patient will come in supine on elbow to it long sitting and then high sitting position. Let's make it clear with the help of diagram. As shown in this diagram, the first diagram shows patient in prone on elbow position. From prone on elbow, patient is told to actively do creeping or commando walking and turn towards or rotate towards his legs as shown in this diagram. From prone on elbow position, patient is told to turn towards his lower legs by doing creeping. Then, after forming C position, patient is told to do hip and knee flexion. Therapist will assist for doing the same. Then patient is told to actively lift his leg and rotate to come in supine lying position. From that, patient will come on supine on elbow position. Then patient is told to extend his elbow, and with the therapist assistance from back, patient can come in long sitting position. From long sitting position, we can use ankle loops, or even we can make passively patient come in high sitting position. You can see diagram once again. Now let's see what are the additional exercise which can be given. In pronon elbow position, we can give cat and camel exercise, we can give reach outs, we can give commando walking. Commando walking is also known as creeping. In long sitting and short sitting position, we can give perturbations and reach outs. And in short sitting, we can also give hitching, hiking and scooting. Hiking is lifting one pelvis up, hitching means lifting both the pelvis up, and scooting means combination of both hitching and hiking. Now let's see next sequence, that is transfer. There are three phases of transfer. First is preparatory phase, second is lift phase, and third is descending phase. In preparatory phase, patient prepare himself to lift up and stand. Okay. In lift phase, patient will lift up and stand, and in descending phase, patient will descend back to sit. You can go through the slide once. There are three approaches for transfer. First is front approach. In front approach, patient face will be facing towards the wheelchair. Now here I had written face wise. Like in preparatory phase, patient will hold the armrest. Let me show you diagram. Patient will be sitting on a mat in a side sitting position. Therapist will stand behind the patient. In lift phase, patient will come in kneeling position and then will straighten his knee. Therapist will assist patient for doing the same by holding their pelvis. In descending phase, patient will flex the elbow, then will rotate the trunk and will try to sit by hitching and hiking, as shown in this diagram. Hope it gets clear. Now second is side approach. In side approach, patient will be sitting as shown in this diagram. One hand on the seat of wheelchair while other hand is on mat. Therapist will stand behind the patient. In lift phase, patient is told to extend the elbow and put other hand also on the seat of the wheelchair. See, as shown in this diagram, you can see it. And in descending phase, patient will drag his lower body and try to sit by hitching and hiking. Now third is back approach. It is same as last two steps are same in back approach and side approach. Here in this patient's back would be facing towards the wheelchair. Therapist will stand in front of the wheelchair. Patient is told to hold the seat by both the hands. In lift phase, patient is told to extend the elbow. Therapist will support by holding the patient's pelvis. And in descending phase, patient will told to drag his lower body and try to sit by doing hitching and hiking, as shown in this diagram. Now next sequence is standing. To make patient stand, we can make them practice sit to stand activity, in which patient would be sitting on a wheelchair and his hands will be on therapist's shoulder. Therapist position will be on stool, and therapist will place his feet over the patient's feet and will lock his knee and will keep his both hand on the patient's pelvis and will make him stand. Remember, while making him sit, we must unlock the knee. Patient can also be taught parallel bar exercises like hip and knee flexions, lunges, etc. Now let's see last sequence, that is walking. For walking, initially we can use assistive devices with greater base of support, and as progression occurs, we can gradually reduce the base of support. Like we can start with walkers as it has more base of support, then we can move to crutches, then sticks, and then we can make them learn independent walking. We can also give them gait training. We can make them walk on treadmills with harness, and at last we can make them walk on different surfaces. So that's it. Thank you.